you see, it's a complicated story. Remember when I bought them chicken houses from, Tony didn't have much of a house, and we went down on Fifth Street in Covington and bought 2 second-hand chicken houses and put them up where we used to have the pump at Tony's stand there.
But shoot yourself.
You just go ahead and like it.
You tell him things and he can change it, he said.
No, I'm not necessarily change it. It's just that I'd like to hear it all. I've been,
Let's go back
I'm pretty dumb,
My memory ain't as sharp as it used to be.
Oh, it's pretty sharp.
I could have detailed that all the way out, but
You go ahead, I'll scrub my knee.
see, how did we come out here? Why did we come out here?
You got sick in the machine shop all the time. You said, I'm going to quit, sell all my tools, and we're going to buy a farm. I said, we're on.
It was on account of the radicals we was getting in the union, and I would see that I was chairman of the American Tool Works, representing 1,000 men. I was their spokesman, and bosses had me booked for being a union agitator. Then I had charge of the picket line, and when we sent to Pittsburgh to get 12 strong-arm guys, them was the guys that knock you off, see?
Yeah.
And that's when I quit, when they wanted me to be an accomplice of pitching a guy off the C&O Bridge because he had a gun in his pocket. That's when I come home and quit the trade, not the job, the trade. I quit the union, the trade, come out here. Oh, we had 30 chickens, we needed 3,000, and we bought all our eggs from the Boone County Poultry Association. And women got slick, and they started selling us eggs without roosters with them, and had a whole lot of infertile eggs.
Right.
Paying $40 a thousand and then pitching.
See, your daddy was old enough. He was past 13. He knows all of that, your daddy.
Yeah.
He was little.
Like that part about the union. What they do? Yeah, they said the part about the union because you was
Well, see, I was a union. I was a union.
The union kind of went up Pittsburgh and hard. The union went up or the company went up though?
I wouldn't publish that. That's supposed to be a secret. No, the union business agent imported these guys.
Oh, the union did.
Yeah, and see, one of their tricks was if the guy was scabbing in the shop. What they mean by a scab is a guy that's trying to break their strike. One trick was to put brass knucks on this hand, brass knucks on that hand, and after they walk him off the streetcar, see, they follow him, and then when they'd have a given sentence, and when they said a certain word, each one would hit him down he'd go. And the next one was when he wanted to pitch that guy off the bridge.
That's all the Fort
I
Perry
think
did.
that fellow's name was Rip Berger, and one of them was Hillman. And I told him, I said, you don't pitch him off the bridge while I'm with you. See, I'd have been an accomplice
Right.
before I commit murder to hold a job. Quite easy. Okay, that was...
Start off and tell him anything.
Why, we had little money saved. We went through that. And I guess that we was out 6 months from
Yeah.
November the 5th, 1915 till the 20th of April, 1916. Then I went over to work at Schellenbach and Hunts. Oh, that was a joke, the way that job came about. I was building a second chicken house after moving in the 12 to 24. And we didn't have enough, you didn't run credit them days, you didn't, you were gonna pay for what you bought. So we didn't have enough roofing to put on the shed. So it rained that night, and we had to put a tub on the end of the bed and crawl up in the hole and let the rain hit in the tub. So we was building a chicken house next to it.
Out of old piano boxes.
Out of old piano out boxes and dry good boxes, any old scrap I could find. So anyway, I was sitting on the roof one day, putting the roof on. A friend of mine, Johnny Henny, come along after I'd been bumming 6 months. He said, John, he says, you're married and I'm single. I went a bum a while for you and you take my job. And I said, John, I wouldn't ask nobody to do that for me. So sure he wanted it that way. And we had 35 cents left. So we went up to Stone, got a 10-cent bucket of beer, went over the river, and he paid the car fare. And he went up to the 3rd floor and told Schellenbach he was quitting, see. So when he come down with his toolbox, I went right on up and I said, you don't happen to need a 2-room lathe hand, do you? He said, you know, that's a funny thing. My man just quit. We had it all set.
Yeah. You want to see, Colonel?
No.
So I got the job, and there was 27 men working in there, and we was making tools for a Ford company then.
Let me go out and help him, and I'll be right back in, okay?
Carrying banner for Amalgamated Clothing Workers at the same
Would you
time.
make $12 a week?
At the 8th, yeah, I got $12 a week from the Amalgamated Clothing Workers, but nothing from the union.
Really kept track of your money back in them days, though.
Huh?
I said you really kept track of your money back in those days.
Oh, my God. Dad and John and I, just lucky that to get on a feed.
So
A feed?
we always had enough to eat.
Yeah, but not what we wanted, but just what we could afford.
Substantial food.
That's right.
We never have been
Make a lot
hungry
of
since
soup.
we've been married. What are you
Lot of
talking
soup.
about? What I was getting at was
He gave you a
the
job.
20th of April, I went in at Schellenbach and Hans, and the 1st of May, a general strike in Cincinnati come up. So I walked up to Schellenbach and I said, I got a union card in my pocket. Oh, I was wrapping up my tools. And he said, what are you doing? I said, I got a union card in my pocket. I respect the whole lot. I said, I'm going on a strike. And he shook hands with me. He said, you're the only man I got working for me that's got any sense. So,
Because you were going on strike?
huh?
Because you were going on strike?
Yeah, he said, in other words, we all should have went on a strike.
Strike.
So when I went back to the toilet, I motioned 3 or 4 fellows. See, I only knew them fellows in there 10 days. I motioned a couple of them to come in the men's room in our toilet, and they come in there and he said, come on, go on a strike with me. So out of the 27, 26 of them went on a strike, and one guy stayed in there. Well,
How long?
that story goes on. That fellow's name was John Kime, remember?
Yeah.
When I went over to get a job at Icy Hot Bottle Company,
Oh, I
he was in there and he said, if you hire that man, I'll
Is
quit.
that in Upper Place? That
See,
little
he had to get pitched out because he's
Upper Place.
scared.
Upper Place,
Yeah.
a little narrow street.
How long did that strike last then?
Well, I worked there 10 months, and I was talking to one of the fellows, and he came up to me and said, to us, he said, don't let me catch you staying around like this anymore. He says, you're talking to the fellows too much. And I said, well, you won't have to correct me again. I just quit.
Couldn't have given my money
And I
up.
went right, yeah.
He was
So I went right across the street, and I see Hot Bottle tool and die shop, and went up there, and the man's name was Becker. And as I was standing talking to Becker, who comes in the door I already got the job, so he was going to hire me. John Kime coming in with a blueprint. Wanted to consult the boss about something about the blueprint. And he says, he introduced me to John Kime. I said, I know him. And he said, I just hired him for a lathe job. And Kime said, if you hire him, I quit.
I quit.
So Becker said to me, he's the best tool and die maker I've ever seen. He said, I can't afford to lose that man. He said, here, And he reached down his wallet.
$10?
He got a $10 bill out. He said, "Here, try to find another job somewhere." So I had been on a strike in American Two Works, see, and then Metal Trades Association, that was the boss's organization, they had an agreement that you couldn't take each other's men without consent. See.
Yeah.
In other words, after we went from Becker's to Lord Shipley's to get a job, I'd had that job already cinched. And he says, "You say you worked the American Two Works?" I said, "Yes." And he says, "I'll have to call them up and see if they'll let me hire you." Let me hire you. Did you get that? That's how strong our agreement was. So it all wound up, I went back to American Two Works.
So it's really like
No, let's see.
no, I mean, if they fire you, they put you like on a blacklist,
Yeah.
and you can't get a job with your other.
That's right, yeah.
It's like,
American Two Works, well, let them holiday.
what kind of work?
What it is.
What'd you do? Mainly make?
Lathe hand.
Make?
Lathe hand.
What was the lathe hand? Did you make tools or?
Machine.
Big machinery.
Machine.
Machinery, lathe. You don't know what a lathe is, do
You
you?
know,
I
Lathe.
don't either, but I make.
Did you ever see a wood spinning lathe where they make woodwork with it?
Well,
Like
you can imagine.
spirals, like stairway sticks, you know, the posts.
I've seen them, but I never seen them
On a
being made.
lathe, like you have a shaft on your, a lot of your machines
Yeah.
have different shafts on them, or gears or
Oh,
pulleys,
okay, gears and pulleys.
anything that turns around.
Oh,
Well, you can
okay.
chase threads or anything else on that.
This was for just any kind of equipment?
Huh?
This was, you made it for any kind of equipment?
Oh, no, it was,
Oh,
American Two
machinery.
Works made planers,
The big
lathes,
machines they make,
they make the big machine,
big machines,
the complete machine.
machinery.
Then you just machine certain parts of it.
Each one had a certain part to do on their machine.
Well, they,
You done the
well,
lathe
see,
work on it.
there was, it was specialized. You have lathe hands, shaper hands, grinder hands, planer hands, circular grinding. Oh, we have lots of different trades. Painters, the paint the machines. And benchmen work on the bikes, they assemble it, you know, put the machine together. Heck, I worked in Muncie, Newcastle, Dayton. Went on a strike 3 times in 1 week up in Dayton.
Your father was living in Gatesville, Perry?
For the first,
Did you drive all the way up there every day, or you stay
I
up
would
there?
come home every 2 weeks when I did work there. The first night I went up there was on a Christmas Eve at the Dayton Stamping and Tool Company. And I worked at the Delco. And during the war I worked at Homer Fair. But the first night I went in there, I worked till midnight. At midnight he'd come around and give us a box of cigars. I was sitting around eating our lunch. One of the men says that the day men get time and a half for all over 48 hours. We were working 60. I said to him, "Well, why don't we get time and a half for those 12 hours over 48? He said, "I don't know." So there was only 4 of us working at night, and they talked it over and want to go on strike. I said, "Fine." So when the boss come in the next day, he says, "All right, you can go on a strike." They found room on the day shift for the other 3 men that was there before me, and I got knocked out.
You made range finders
One
there.
night's work.
You made range finders up in Dayton.
Well, I was at the Owen Fair.
Right?
At the Delco, we made
I see.
different things.
Well,
Delco made a lot of things.
Well, before you went up there to work, you left American Two Works. You got back to American Two Works, didn't you, by your cousin?
Oh, I don't.
Where'd you quit? When you
Mom, I
quit?
worked. I had over, I can't remember all them things. I had over 250 jobs.
When you quit for good, you quit the American Two Works and give your toolbox away and your tools?
No, I was at LeBlanc. I was working under Frank
That's
Lane.
when you quit and we come here.
Yeah, you said, I come home and said I quit. You said, oh, that's nothing, you've often quit your work,
That's right.
your job. So I said, no, I quit the whole trade. My toolbox, I had a $17 toolbox, I sold it to a kid for $2. My cheap tools, I throw it away in my combination square and micrometers and everything I kept them, brought them home.
Did you build this house here?
Huh?
Remodel this whole place. You never seen this shack. You talk about the shack, you
I
should
built
have seen
that
it.
barn without anything.
Yeah.
I saw a picture in a book, Farm Magazine, the picture of our barn, see? And I asked a fellow what size the door was. Well, then I scaled this picture, 1/8 inch to the foot, and I built the barn according to the...
Never had nothing to go by, did you? I'll never forget that.
When we built it, I got the idea, that's a machinist idea, making all them rafters alike, see? So we built the bottom, and we laid the floor, and then on the floor I made a template to fit each one of those rafters, you know, the whole business. Then we hitched up the horse here and the pulley and pulled them up straight and spiked them and braced them. No, we didn't brace them. Don't you know, we went on and made them all. One night
They got that one
we had a
strong
high
wind.
wind and the barn was going like this. Got John out of bed and we went down there and I had a 2 by 12 by 16 foot long brace. And when the level said it was plumb, why, we nailed it, see, and then that stopped it. So what I was going to say, that we measured 2 foot on centers for them rafters until we got the full length of the barn. I think it's 48 feet. So we was a 1/4 inch off, and John said, "You're going to plumb it?" I said, "No, a 1/4 inch off on 48 feet ain't nothing." So in other words, the back of the barn is a 1/4 of an inch off.
See, though, that barn
Probably
turned-
glued straight by now, though.
the wood's turned inside out, though. And the wood's turned inside out.
Oh, the boards.
The boards.
In front of
Turned
the boards.
inside out.
In front of the boards are over 115 years old, and they're weather beaten on the inside, so we just turn them around.
Around. We didn't have.
See, the
money
one
to
board
buy.
was so rotten, I put tin on it. See that one that sticks out with paint on it? That's tin, by the big door.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see it.
I guess, Daddy, you can't see them.
Can't hardly see it myself.
No, I guess you can't.
But anyway, there's a...
In the front of the barn here or the
Yeah,
side?
on the front. Right near that door that you opened.
Outside.
You can see from outside because it's nice and smooth. Oh, we had a heck of a time. We built this house. This house didn't have no cellar under it. And I had all these incubators. I had the first year we run them in the back room. And it was too hot upstairs, see. We had one jack, and Carl Foss gave me a 12 by 12 beam. And I just run it through the house catty corner like this, and we dig out and set this corner with the house down on it. But I should have had 2 or 3 insurance jacks besides the one I had. Taking a chance, big chance. And we tore down 2 chimneys, dug that whole basement out. That cistern's 12 feet deep, dug that all out.
Let me help him load up again now.
It's all intermingled now. I was talking about strikes and everything. But on that strike, that was dangerous too. When I was carrying a van of amalgamated clothing worker at 8th and Sycamore in Oaks Building, them scabs up there, they rolled up they got a about a yard cubic bunch of cardboard.
Yeah.
They had all packed solid, strings tied around there. They pushed that out on the, see, them days you couldn't walk on the sidewalk with a banner, you had to walk in the street. They pushed that out in the window, and I had just made one step, and it hit behind me, and all them strings on there busted. It sounded like a shotgun.
They
And I
wanted to hit
jumped,
him and kill him.
If that would've hit me, I'd just been a little G-spot there. Then at the American Tool Works, I asked him not to go in to go to work, and he said, I'll go in there if it takes lead to get in there, and he poked a pistol in my ribs, and policeman and lieutenant come around the corner, and I said, he put the gun away and jumped in the office door into the building. I said, did you see what that guy done? He said, we didn't see a thing. I know they saw it. See, they were on the boss's side.
And everything.
Sure was tough.
Now let him know when we come out here.
No, I always like to hear about it, like you said before, it takes too long to tell, but you said something about when you bought your first, right before when you bought the lot down there.
Oh,
I like,
about buying the incubators one at a time.
I mean, how you went about buying the lot, right before that. You said you was broke, you went on strike and you was broke.
No, after the strike, I was broke, see.
Yeah.
And I
You
was
went on strike for 6 months?
I was clerk at the American Tool Works. I mean, at the Lookout House. And I got $10 for clerking, writing my name down, so
Oh, I see.
that was on election day. And that's when I bought the $5 lot.
Did they bribe a lot in election day?
Huh?
Did they give a lot of bribes out in election day? You say election day, did they bribe a lot?
Oh, I don't know. You mean crooked work?
Yeah.
No, this was salary for being a clerk.
No, I was saying, I read the book and if they bribe, $3 or $4.
Oh, there used to be crooked work going on, like voting at 2 different places and all
Oh,
that
okay,
stuff.
yeah. That's still done though.
Bribery, I don't know about that, but I know that there's some fellows used to vote in 2 different places and under different names sometimes.
Okay, go on about your $10. You got $10
Oh,
from
then,
clerking.
and we
And you went out and bought a beer to get change?
we bought this lot, built a chicken house, moved in it, and then I was working at the shop, and when he dug the cellar, I would move the dirt. When he dug the cistern, I'd come home and move the dirt. He dug that nigger man, what was his name yet? He dug the cistern. Stewart? Oh, big tall nigger man. He dug the cistern and he'd throw the dirt out, and then when I come home at night, I'd move the dirt down on the lawn. And then we built the house.
Mm-hmm.
When I built it for us, and we didn't have nothing deposit, did we?
No.
Your daddy died and gave us $400.
Yes.
Was that, did we buy the furnace with that, or? Well, see, that's all too far back. Nevertheless, I drawn the plans for the house myself. And I took it up to him, and
You built the little bungalow.
he was going to charge me $3,200 to build it. And then I whittled it down, and we built that house that's down there now. What did he charge me for that?
You put in the
$2,400.
mantle yourself, a lot of things you've done yourself.
Yes,
that you
I
didn't
know.
have done.
I got up on and painted the roof at 12 o'clock at night with an extension light, and we got a rain that night, and the windows wasn't in. So all that wet
All
paint
the plaster was red and white.
splattered all over the white. Painted the roof 12 o'clock at night. Nuts. Yeah, then after that, let's see, we bought eggs, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said Dad says you was getting them from Mr. Lang up there? Lang.
Oh, yeah, they're from the Hempel girls.
Temple Girl.
One of the Hempel girls married a lady.
Temple.
Yes, it was
They used to run the guardhouse and they moved out to,
Oh, yeah. They lived at Lane's. Don't you know, when you go out there, we buy 10 dozen for that little 128 incubator, and they would have them on a living room floor,
all ready for you.
12 in a row, 10 rows, so that they wouldn't give you too many or too less. That's the time when we bought them eggs and we started to learning about cold packing. Don't you know, they asked me to stay to dinner, and I told them I didn't have time.
They told
And they
you,
had
and
a-
you come home and told
They had
me.
a quart of lima beans on the table.
They made you stay and eat.
No, I didn't stay. I told them I was too busy. Anyway, I asked them how they can, and they told me, and that's how we got the cold packing. We used to can over 1,000 jars a year. You know, just cold packing. Can all night long.
I mean, lima beans.
Huh?
Lima
No,
beans?
everything. Everything. Can a cab, can anything.
Everything you can think of.
Anything you can think of. Soup, vegetables, everything. Anyway, we'd
Corn and
put a batch on at 10 o'clock, go to bed, and then set the alarm for 1. And one of us would jump up and put 12 more in the border and take the hot ones out, and set it again for 2 o'clock.
Did you sell them or did you just keep them?
Just for
stuck in
family use. Wife cooked burgoo back there with a big skillet.
that was here.
You don't know what burgoo is, do you?
No,
Never tasted?
I don't like that.
Where the Forest Lawn Cemetery is, that used to be Cody and Pew's. They were known nationally for their burgoo and their mint juleps, the drink.
Yeah, I know mint juleps.
Anyway,
There's a
I got the
burger.
recipe, and Daddy and I went over the villa and caught 11 turtles. They went in it, and a dozen oxtails. I don't know what all went in it, but we had everything in it, all the vegetables you could think of. When we got through cooking it for 14 hours, we had 96 jars. Remember that, Mom?
Let me go out there and help them and I'll be right back in.
They're telling me we try and make it sharp. Put incubators in the rooms, and John was 13 when we moved here, and, you know,
Tell them to bring it back some other
13
time.
and,
So tell him to bring it back some other time. How you going to talk when he's in and out? All we're doing
but
is,
he wants to remember that he can change it.
oh, he's going to try to remember what we did.
Yes.
How many small incubators did we have when we came here?
I believe 8 in the bedroom.
We had both bedrooms full.
I believe 8, something like that.
We had Prairie
And
State.
then you build the cellar under the house, and then you put all the incubators down in the basement. Until we got the sectional and electric.
Then we still kept 3 or 4 of them going. I don't even know who we sold them to anymore. That's too long ago. I'll be horsing talking. Gosh.
And then, you see, first you built the arch, and then you remodeled the
First we built that. That was the first house went up. That's why we called it the new house.
Oh, I thought the arch went up first.
No. We built that and we
Oh, we always called it the new house.
we built that, and then we had 2 brooder houses sitting over there where the garden is, where the machine is now. And I don't know when we built them down there. We didn't build that arch right away.
But we built it before we remodeled the home.
Yeah. Don't know when we built
Yeah, let's try and cut it sharp.
Yeah, when you think about it, building that barn and that chicken house and not being a carpenter, I sure had my worries.
Right.
Didn't know how to do it, but go ahead and do it anyway.
Yeah, like, Trudy's husband, he's different.
Getting tired?
I'm always
I told him
tired.
to try to cut it real short.
No, that's all right. I appreciate just anything you guys talk about.
No, tell him which, we come out, when we come,
Oh, when we came out here, this shanty, this house was a mess. Weatherboards hanging loose and everything, and we remodeled it, see. And then the old barn, before we tore it down, was a mess. Oh, you could have boards hanging loose and everything. And we had an old, just a shanty there, a little shack for
Oh,
chickens.
right here where the company base is?
Yeah, right about where the walnut tree was.
garage.
No, not the little garage, over that way more. Where the walnut tree was.
Yeah,
And see, the old wire fence had about 6 or 7 layers of wire around it, and chickens still getting out of it. But it was only built for about 30 chickens. Just
Do you have any
little.
problem with foxes or anything?
Yeah. Remember the time John went around, we'd have portable brooder houses. John and I could carry them the only way to buy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And we carried them over there, and one day we saw a fox training his puppies, catching chickens. We went over there, and John started looking around. You remember that when we found about 15 of them where he had them buried against logs? And see, how we got next to it, one rooster's comb was sticking out. And we could see it.
remember when the wreck went up down the lake?
Well, that ain't got nothing to do with it. He jumped real high.
We had
I know what you mean, like, didn't it?
8 incubators in the rooms before the house was
You live downstairs or up
upstairs, my bedroom and daddy. 8 incubators, and then when we dug it all out and fixed the cells, then they all went in the cellar. Then we got a sectional and electric.
Electric,
And then
was
you know-
electric,
That
better back?
electric, that's a cabinet. Your sectional was the long incubator,
Sectional.
and your cabinet was the compact one. You couldn't hatch in it.
You couldn't have the electric if you didn't have the sectional.
No,
Electric, they started out,
They had
they
to
didn't have the sectional.
tell it right, they had to be transferred
Transferred into
when
the,
it was 18 days
Oh, I
old.
see, okay.
so many days in electric and then on into the sectional, so many in each section.
Is the section, oh, okay, is the sectional gas heated then?
Yeah,
No, andesite,
with andesite coal,
andesite coal.
poles over the corner.
Oh, I see, okay.
And each sectional had a thermometer, had to be watched all the time, and then a pan of water underneath
We
it.
had,
Then you had it, yeah.
24 sections.
24 sectionals, 3-story high.
8, 16, 24.
Like this one, okay.
Yeah.
Now,
And then each one of them had a thermometer. There's 24 thermometers.
24
you
thermometers.
had heated in the, your heat was by coal?
Andesite heat.
Andesite coal.
No,
And
the actual heat was water heat.
Yeah.
The coal stove heated the tank, and the tank, as it heated the water, it flowed through there and came back and got reheated. See?
And the boxy one was electric, that had a big crank to turn, great big crank to turn the eggs.
You know some homes that have radiators, water radiators. Well, that's the same principle. And the electric, that had a oil heater.
Mhm.
And the electric was, we called it electric, but that was only for the fan system,
That's right,
the fan on top.
I can see that right now.
That distributed the heat even.
Mhm.
We had a barometer in there and a thermometer.
So that's all was perfect. When we get through with a hatch, you do and cleaned everything, you couldn't see a piece of eggshell. When we get a hatch up, we clean the whole cellar, and I done all the scrubbing by a tub. The trays where the chicks were on, the dirt, chicken dirt, and everything. All day long we worked to clean that cellar after
Well, you see,
20-some hundred
we
babies.
take our hatches off and set the eggs on the same day.
Same day, they had to be
And the
set.
reason for that timing was you would take orders 6 months ahead of time, so.
All five of us, no help, John and Daddy and Louise and Helen and I. I'd come up here and get a little dinner and go right back down again.
We used to work like you guys do, crazy.
Crazy.
We had a route.
Now, was that all year round?
Huh?
Did you do
No.
that through the winter time too?
No, the incubators only run from when we started, maybe December till June.
They had said during the summer they got that dysentery disease, white
No, they got,
dysentery or something.
no, they got, coccidiosis.
I know what coccidiosis is. He said they had some kind of dysentery though.
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
That's awful.
White diarrhea or something.
That happened.
But I don't think that was on account of summer.
You
We
should.
just shut down on account of it wasn't profitable to raise broilers that time of the year because every farm wife had her, see them days, every farm, the wife would have a little flock of chickens. When she was getting eggs, and then the market would go down, see. You made your money on eggs that you produced during the winter months, during the cold weather.
Okay.
And every spring, every Tom, Dick, and Harry would get eggs. They'd go down as low as 18 cents a dozen.
The first thing you know, we got more chickens, and we had our own layered eggs. And then we done custom hatching on top of that, turkeys and pheasants. We had pheasants. You gotta see them little things.
We hatched everything, guineas,
And ducks.
pheasants, turkeys, geese, ducks.
Ducks.
We used to call it
Oh,
ducks.
ducks.
We used to call it ducks for Easter.
Yeah, sure.
I had 11 stores selling colored chicks for me,
Yeah, you said.
scattered all over.
See, that way we made more money with that custom hatching.
Well, we had a garden, we had cornfields, we had alfalfa, we had 4 cows at one time, and a team of horses, no tractor,
3 cows.
and John's egg route once a week,
We had 3 cows, didn't we?
4,
Made butter.
made butter. Well, we made butter when we only had Katie.
Oh, that was so butter. Ooh.
They bought 14 pounds a week.
That was
Had a
really
guy come all the way from Cincinnati to buy
butter,
it
butter without salt.
without
Get
salt
2
and
pounds
on
of
account of
butter.
a heart condition.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my, that was the sweetest butter.
But getting back to chicks, why, we would put out about 2,500 every week.
And all be on order, see?
We had our chicks off on Saturday, wasn't
Tuesday.
it? On Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Mhm.
At a hatch.
Down Fort Perry was Saturday because people come on the street going by.
On Sunday.
That's what it was.
When you was working, he wasn't working in the shop when he was here.
Mhm.
Every Tuesday we had a hatch. So 2,200 about.
I old man, the chief of Fort, where was he? Chief of Fort Thomas, wasn't he?
Chief Cook.
Chief
Chief
Cook.
of Fort Thomas.
He used to bring 700 turkey eggs over.
All
the
his turkeys we hatched.
Those black turkeys.
Huh?
Black. Those were bronze turkeys.
Yeah, bronze. Mhm.
Wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, what do they call a wife, a Narragansett? What do you used to call your
We
baby?
call ours, we had Nicholas White, and now we got a Rosalinda White.
Well, see, that's the improved Narragansett.
Is that all white ones now?
Yes.
Yeah.
For prejudice.
See, them days, your white turkey was a real skinny thing.
And it was
It
scarce.
had no frame.
Scarce.
And then they start breeding for breast.
And your black turkey is the opposite now.
Yeah.
It's vice versa.
Yeah, we had skinny eggs one time for Fred Reinhardt, he lives down
Well,
on,
that was in Fort Perry.
oh, yeah. We put him in there,
Anyway, tell them.
The old Fred Reinhardt down there on the,
Yeah,
streetball.
you know him.
still alive.
How old is he?
He's got a beard down like this.
Oh, my
oh,
God.
he was a screwball. Anyway, he went all through the fields and he gathered up guinea eggs. And he brought them over there on a Sunday, and I set them. Brought them on Saturday, and I set them. And Monday, I went down the cellar. We had our hatches up on Saturday. I heard something peeping down there. Didn't know what to make of it, see? So here I looked in the guinea machine, and there they were. Hatched out already. He just brought them a couple of
You
days.
see, he'd get them away from the hens that was
Yeah.
sitting on it
Yeah.
and brought the whole shebang to us.
And he
And every day they were hatching.
In other words, there's one hell of a mess.
He had,
Hell of a
he had inbred them guineas so bad that some of them had club feet like this, no toes, just a stump. Some of them had 2 toes. And,
How come they breed, how come the deep
I
one?
don't know, the inbreeding, I guess.
Inbreeding.
Oh,
They didn't breed right?
same route,
Oh, I didn't know what he was doing.
same street all the time, you know, just let them grow up and
Oh, I see.
never mix no new blood or
Oh, I
land.
see. Oh.
Every day they was hatching. It was a mess.
Yeah, there's something about
Oh,
See, we'd introduce new blood like Tancred
he
Street.
didn't know any better.
We'd pay $25 for a male, you know, a yearling, and use him about 3 seasons, just for breeding.
that. One rooster, $25?
That was big money them days. It'd be like 75 now.
I want to give you $25 for any rooster.
Huh?
I said, I want to give you $25 for any rooster.
No, but them days, you see, we used to follow poultry shows, but we don't do.
Yeah, we follow poultry shows.
Don't hardly hear of the poultry show anymore. But your chicken had to have a certain carriage of his tail, about 45 degrees, and his breast had to stick out further than his beak, you know, when he carried his head. Different postures that way is the way they judged him. How they stood, you know, to show vitality.
This was a heavy breed chicken, or was that like?
That was the living. Oh, the Enderdew, all kinds of chickens. We had Blue Andalusians, we had Ancanas, we had Farthingtons,
Farthingtons.
Rhode Island Reds, we had Plymouth Rocks, Barred Rocks, we had White Rocks. We brought them Blue Andalusians from Fansteel out at Pittsburgh or somewhere out in that section.
All the chickens run out. There wasn't pen up for the day.
No, everything had
That
to.
house up there had little
How many-
hatches to open.
How many chickens would you let with that one rooster?
I mean, we have about 3.
Oh, the one rooster? About 15, 16.
Oh. And then roosters would fight too. Don't you think they do?
Yeah, I know what you mean there, but you pay $25 for one rooster and then just put him in with some hens.
Yeah, and then save all of his male offspring to breed with the next year.
Okay, I see what you mean.
That's where you get your money
I
back.
see.
Well,
Them all
The eggs-
fenced in. All run out.
You know,
All
remember-
fenced in.
remember when when the storm hit in 1913, wasn't it?
When we lived at Tony's, when John was a little kid,
And that cloudburst came over, and the wind was so strong that it blowed the leggings out of the quince tree and plastered them up again the
and
window.
the window, we couldn't get them
And we couldn't get the window open to let them
When we get it
inside.
out,
But them eggs cost $1 a piece. A Feldman paid $15 for 15 eggs.
Just for a new breed of chicken.
Huh?
Just for a new breed of chicken.
That's just new blood.
I'll never forget that. John was
Boy,
reading.
Bob Hamilton had a hatchery on the Dixie Highway, 10,000 capacity in the incubator, and he paid $1 a piece for 10,000 eggs. No,
Bob Hamilton?
yes, well, one of them dollar eggs, or was there,
He had
No,
money on
He didn't spend no $10,000.
You didn't know Bob Hamilton on the highway, but your dad.
Oh, that was for his time.
He was a bull cracker.
Oh, windbag, and then he was always full of whiskey.
Oh, Johnny, I know.
But he says, come over in a real gentleman way and says, John, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to put you out of business. Said, I'm going to buy my feed for the car lots and
John
everything.
put him out.
So then, wasn't long after he come run over one night. Can you come over the house right away? I said, yes, I can go over. What do you want? He said, I think I burnt my incubator out.
He said, "Don't be
So
bad."
he cooked all the eggs. Let the heat get away from him. Thermostat busted.
I'll never forget that.
He was going to put me out of bed. So was Johnny Southwell.
Yeah,
So was Stokes.
John remembers that.
So was Fred Lowe. When we come out here, they give me 1 year. But, you
John
know,
was 13.
somehow or another cut out. Oh, the reason it cut out, how broke we were, how down and out. I bought this from Wayne Russ.
Yeah.
And they thought I'd have to give it up. We struggled through.
It was a year here.
We had a call loan. We paid.
But then they changed their mind and developed a speeding up system. Grandpa used to make foot screws in about 10 minutes, when they would give you 40 minutes to make one in. And when they developed the speeding up system, they would limit it down to 20 minutes and still get the same amount of pay in less time. So when they did that, my grandpa went from 10 minutes to making a screw into 40 minutes. So you get his one